Excuse me. I just sneezed. But you guys didn't hear it. Hi, YouTubers. What download do we have today? Perception is everything, right? How you perceive something will often dictate on how the end result is, right? Because we're all creating our own reality. I'll give you one example. Simple example. Simplest that I can think of. And you have to heal perceptions of reality. What is really real, right? What is there to be afraid of? Before I get into what that is, or looks like, I have a cat, Louie. My mom bought this cat before she died, and she claimed that she bought it for my stepdaughter, but her mom didn't want the cat, and so we ended up with the cat. And Louie, it was the most aggressive, rambunctious cat. My mom liked him because he played a lot, but always attacking your feet, and you couldn't bend down and pet him at all. Like when I first if you tried to pet this cat, he would latch onto you and be like, "Ugh!" Right? Because his internal perception was that you were attacking him, and so he would attack to defend himself. Rawr! Right? Taking me a long time with this cat. This cat is, he's possessed kitty, and that's actually a fairly correct way. The beast mentality is a type of possession, right? It's a type of perception of reality. So you can perceive reality in a lot of different ways. So people would walk through the house, and if he got a lot of times he'd get underfoot, trying to rub up against your leg, pretending to be nice, but in his mind, his perception is you're out to get him anyway. So he's actually creating situations in his own mind to get stepped on, so he can lash out at you. Arr! Really, it's a cat. He's just right over there. Taking me a long time with this cat. So he's finally gotten over, 5 years to where he can sit next to you. He'll jump up on your lap. He'll jump up on my lap. And he's okay to be petted now. You can actually pet him. But you can't ruffle his feathers, right? If you try and... You can't, pick him up if you try to pick him up and move him or something, he's going to latch on your... And a couple times, he's done that anyway to me. And every time, always, and this is a lesson for all of you guys, and why lack of judgment is so important in your environment, because that it's actually grounding out a false perception of reality. Anytime you judge something as bad, you're not looking at it from a higher perspective. You're seeing it as some kind of conflict in your environment, right? The conflict is being created by the creator, and it's own perception of reality. And as that perception grows, slowly the conflict slowly die off. So what I would do is, as non-reaction, if he sitting in your lap and he would latch onto me, I would just look at him like, "What are you doing? What is the matter with you?" And I'd look right into his face. "What are you doing?" And he would let go and and then he'd jump off and he'd go sit by himself and keep looking back at me like, "What just happened?" Right? Why? Because I didn't hurt him. I didn't even react to his reaction. So trying to break down his own perceptions that I'm any way here to harm the cat, right? One time he was outside and he'll get jealous of the neighbor cat, right? Because he's protecting his food source. So there's this big black cat that comes in, neighbor cat, and he's actually a really nice kitty. He comes in and eats, but every once in a while, Louie will meet him at the door and just sit there and talk to him and get mad at him. So I walked out there one time, and stood right between him and started talking to both of them. It was like, what is the matter? What are you, what is the problem? And so I'm looking at Louis. I was like, Louis, knock it off. And he hits at me, like, I'm just like, get out of here. You're being naughty. And he's finally figured out, for the most part, and he's gentled enough where he realizes that there's nobody in here really that's out to get him. But he's still having a hard time getting comfortable, right? There's a lot of internal healing processes that are still going on. But the most important lesson here is that if somebody lashes out at you in any way, be non-reactive. Best way to be is to just be non-reactive. And it's okay to have divine wrath is a thing. It's all right to have divine wrath to make somebody aware of a false perception. Hey, something's lying to you. You're lying to yourself. What do you think? What are you doing? Right? It's not okay. Don't do that. If you're looking from a higher perspective, right? There's always a higher perspective you can be looking at it from. Everything in this reality is part of you. It's all present right now. So any kind of false perception of something that might happen or could happen, or any state of fear, that is coming into the mind of maybe an event in the future, of something that might happen to you. It's all blah, right? It's something that's if you're trying to generate a false outcome, it's just you're lying to yourself. It's a part of you that's like, you can call it possession, and there are all a lot of non-physical entities that will feed off of that energy because it's wasted energy. It's not being grounded in the present. You're not fully present. What's the point? Why are you wasting your energy worrying about tomorrow? If you're not grounded, you're not focusing on what you should be doing something for yourself right now, then, right? What are we doing? Go have joy. Go do something fun for yourself. Right? Go on a hike. Find somebody to go walk with. And maybe help them ground out maybe some anxiety that they might be feeling, or whatever. Right? I mean, the worst thing you can do is not express yourself and open up your heart to the people around you. Have to be able to do that. Right? If you're afraid of being judged in any way, then don't allow the negative projections and judgments of others impact your own state of being. Perceptions of reality are there's a whole group of people that are moving out of that stuff and healing from environments where a lot of it is just money constrictions, right? So for one thing, you have to overcome the idea of any kind of self-worth around how much you do or don't have, because this is just, you have everything. You're connected to everything in this universe. There isn't anything that you're not, that doesn't make sense to just because you have like a piece of paper sitting next to you, or a number in a bank account that you're connected to that has nothing to do with anything, really. When you really understand, it's like Neo waking up in the Matrix, and everything is, he's connected to everything, right? And then understanding that everything else, if it's conflicted and it doesn't understand that, now you have, not only are you empowered to heal that perception so that that thing can understand what's going on, but you're free, right? Just walking. Yeah. 144,000. I mentioned something like that in the last video, but it's basically just a group of people that are healing their ability to stay present and get people the present moment. If you're always staying perfectly present, there's nothing that you ever need or lack, because you're present. Everything's right here. Right. So, yeah. Let's get a general energy reading, shall we? Yeah. I love nature videos. I've been watching a nature video today where just now there's so many of them where people just take either drones or just take pictures of their flying. A lot of 4K, because 4K cameras and 8K cameras are so much cheaper than they were in the past. You know, we just didn't have that technology 10, 15 years ago. We didn't have the videos that were available now. There's so many people making so many cool videos of different places. It's pretty neat. Son, right? In your childlike energy. You'll always be in your childlike energy and just doing what you love to do. What else is there? Right? I think I just made a video about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The adult child. And the boat ride where he lets all of them throw all their fears get reflected on them in like a scene where there's no walls. It's just like a mirror image of what they're imagining, that because they don't know. He's already said, well, I don't know where we're going. And so all their fears started coming up, right? Pictures of bugs crawling across them and pictures of some kind of pain, suffering. You know, they're like, oh, I don't like this boat ride. What are you afraid of? What is there to be afraid of? The fool. The sun and the fool. Taking leaps of faith. What is there to do next, right? I don't know. The hermit. Some hermit energy. Maybe we're thinking about what we should be doing next. What do you guys think? What is on your plate next? I don't know. What are you going to create? I know what I'm going to do. I'll let you guys figure out what you're going to do. I mean, this is you guys. Right? I mean, this is your energy. In your sun energy, fool energy, we're starting something new. 6 Wands. Marching towards victory. Let's get a couple of animal cards. Yeah. This deck. If you guys haven't seen this, it shows like a little raccoon in a garbage can. It's snowing right now out here. It was dumping snow just a second ago. Yeah, it's still snowing, but it's not sticking. It's just melting. I woke up this morning and it was covered in snow on the ground. I was like, oh, because I want to go on a hike today, but I'll just wait till tomorrow. It probably won't stick. And maybe people, and it's all sand here in this area, so when it does warm up, it just goes right through the soil. It's generally not muddy clay like, you know, mountainous areas. This is desert out here, so it's all basalt and sand. Don't ever have to worry about. But there's lots of hills, valleys. Very cool area. This is the eastern of Mount Adams, and it's an old lava bed. It's like 600 feet of basalt underneath this layer, and then under that, you know, stuff. But then there's also sitting next to, very interesting, this area. It's also sitting next to Rattlesnake Mountain. It's called Snake Mountain, but underneath that mountain is the largest water aquifer in the state of Washington. Huge. Because it's right at the end of the Yakima River, the longest river of origin in the state of Washington. And it's a convergence of like 3 weather systems that comes over the Cascades. There's one that comes down from the north, one that comes up from the valley, and actually one that actually kind of boils up from the south. Right here. And it all goes around where it converges. It moves around a mountain called Red Mountain that is a huge viticultural area. We have more wineries per capita in this town than anywhere else in the state. Actually, I think it's anywhere else on the West Coast. We have something like 20 or 30 wineries for 2,500 people. But the reason is because they get less rain right there than even just like a half a mile away, because of the way the weather turns around that mountain, and because of the way that mountain faces the way the weather systems combine. It's very interesting. Cause and effect, rule of law. You have rule of law and self-reliance. Very cool. This is exactly what I was thinking of before I started this video, right? Being self-reliant and using the rule of law, the rules of cause and effect, to dictate our path, right? And it makes us free. You become free if you know the rules of cause and effect. Love unconditionally. And don't be afraid to show that to everyone around you. Treat everyone the way that you would want to be treated. All right? I don't think there's really anything more to say other than that, right? Freedom and rule of law. 'Cause that's how you gain freedom. Once you know the law. Right? That nothing's out to get you. The only reason that you think that anything is out to get you is when you try to attach yourself to an outcome or try to own something that can't be owned. Yeah. Why'd you try and own something that's temporary? Duh. Worlds within worlds. That's right. Perceptions within perceptions of reality. There's always something new to learn. There's always some way to expand your awareness. It's going to be a fun ride, right? I don't know. Where are you guys going? Where are you guys taking your little knapsack and hitting the road towards? Right? And your childlike energy heading towards victory. I love the fact that this is the skunk. Because the skunk stinks to everybody around him, but not the skunk. Everybody really doesn't like the skunk, except for the skunk. The skunk's happy as a clam. So, alright, I'm gonna take on. Yeah. Just sweeping out the trash, right? Rule of law. The mice will go running. The rodents will go running off if you just love and be loved. Love everything, and don't judge it, and just teach it that there is nothing there to. It's just its own perception of not being loved that has limited itself, right? And so you got to try and collect all this stuff around you to make sure that you can support yourself, or else, you're going to die or something. I don't know. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day. And I'll catch you in the next one. Yeah. Bye.